I'm going to this estate sale to where this character has tons of new old stock Ford parts. It's just a garage full, and I'll get a little video of it. Actually, I already been, so you're going to see video of it. And 90% of it was NOS Ford and 10% of it was NOS GM. I didn't really see any Chrysler stuff there, but there was masses of stuff there. So here's the video, and I also looked at a 75 Oldsmobile Delta 88 convertible and got some good video of that too. So that'll be in this video also.
Two in the door, I could have got it, but there was no price on it, and he's too busy to ask me. On what? On the cabinet.
The woman, she just left the street. I don't know, man. That's a weird one, eh? Grass? That might be a little cold out.
Anybody else interested?
Turn it. And then you should be able to turn it.
You gonna buy it when you're done?
No.
I'll take it
If you're interested.
Yeah, I was with my buddy Jeff at the lawnmower shop.
That's that gray brick house right there that had the Hoard of Ford stuff. He had some GM stuff too, but I ended up getting a box of, or pretty much all brand new spark plugs. Some of the packages aren't full, but they're all spark plugs that are common that, you know, good chances I'll use them. And I got the whole box for 20 bucks. So now we're gonna scoot off to another sale, and I'm gonna look at a 75 Oldsmobile Delta 88 convertible if it's still there. This sale I wanted to get to a little sooner, but I didn't want to wait in line, and some of the other items I was after were already sold. There's lots of, hang on, I'm using my phone to video and it's just nuts. Hang on a second. So a lot of the good stuff that I was kind of coming after had sold. There was cases of brand new oil that were in the cardboard containers, you know, not the plastic bottles, and he was getting $16 a can, which was okay, but I didn't need any of that. I mean, I see those things, they're all unopened, brand new, in their cardboard boxes, unopened still. And there was quite a few of them. And yeah, it was a neat sale. I tried to get a little video in the garage. The house was uneventful, but the garage was just packed, and it was 90% Ford stuff, about 10% GM stuff, and a lot of it was brand new old stock. And there was just so much there. You know, you could spend a month going through the stuff. And you know, if I was doing a particular car and needed particular products, I would have had part numbers in hand of parts I needed to see if they're there. Good chance they were. It was just an amazing sale. Anyway, off to the next sale. Bunch of trees here, so
Hello there.
Hello. That needs upholstery work. Shows 90,000 miles on the clock. It's got a cassette. Somebody's changed the radio out in it. Check that out. Fuzzy dice. Take a look under the hood. Power windows. Oh, wire hanging down there. Probably for the courtesy lights. Looks like an original paint car. It's got a little bubbling. Does the bubbling show up? Yeah, it's going to need a top also. We know what those cost. That's all upside down, but that's so you can read it from, you know, look. Yep, bubbling there too. So definitely needs some body work. Chrome's in decent shape. This side doesn't look bubbled there. This has got a couple, yeah, this side's bubbling. So it has rust. Might be a project. We'll see. We'll go in and talk to him. It definitely needs a convertible top, some rust repair. Picked up this vintage fan at this sale. These things turn in here. Gave $2 for that. We'll go over that when I get home. And I bought this. I think this was the original radio for that Oldsmobile. And I believe it's an AM radio 8-track. And maybe Dave, maybe you'd like it for your Volkswagen. Anyway, yeah, I gave $12 for this and the fan, for the radio and the fan, so I think that was a pretty good deal. It has how to wire it and everything on it. I don't see any reason why it won't work. It has the connectors, the wires have been cut. Connectors are still plugged into it, which is kind of nice. And so anyway, we got that too. Yeah, and by the way, they wanted $13,900 for that Olds. I offered them $5,000 cash, and they wouldn't take it because it needs a new top and it needs some body work and it needs some upholstery work. With all that stuff done, the car's probably a maximum value would be that, about $13,000, $14,000, completely, you know, ready to cruise. So yeah, they're no money to be made. So yeah, I would have given them $5,000, put a new top on it, fix the seats and the rust. But you know, I can't make any money at $13,900. You know, I'd be lucky to get that for it done. That was the last year GM made the big convertibles, or the convertibles at all. So anyway, we're gonna head off and call it a day on estate sales. I don't know if I'm gonna go to another one or not. We will see. But yeah, they're pretty nice people they're dealing with. Anyway, that's it. It's actually a fairly nice neighborhood. That's a house back there where the sale was. So anyway, we're gonna probably head towards home now. The radio, yeah, the radio, you heard it. It fell off the seat onto the floor there, but no big deal. Anyway, off we go.
Turn left.
Yeah, the fall colors are nice through this little stretch of road I'm on right now. It's not the smoothest road in the world, but it's beautiful, that's for sure. Alright, enough fall colors. This radio I picked up for Dave. I thought maybe he'd like it for his old station wagon. If anyone knows what those numbers mean and want to leave a comment. The radio, I believe, was out of that Oldsmobile Delta convertible that you see in the video here. And as you can see, it is an 8-track. And I don't know if it works or not, but from the looks of the head, the tape head, it doesn't look like really it's ever been used. I don't see any wear or dirt on any of the components inside there. So this may work. That changes the track. That's your jack. And then your stations, which, you know, you typically, you tune in where you want your station. You pull your button out and push it in, and that's what programs it. And like I say, that is also the jack, and that changes the track. So yeah, and then I think that's the speaker and the tone. So, you know, for, you know, if you have a rear speaker or whatever, it gives the wiring diagram for the plug connectors right there. And the plug connectors, like I said in the video earlier, are intact, and there's no reason they can't be reused. You know, you might have to take a little tool and, you know, you can take these, let's see if I can get that, you can take these connectors out and open them up and carefully put in new wires and solder them, or existing wiring, or if Dave's station wagon still has the existing plugs in it, they probably plug right into this. These was nice that the plugs are there. They probably cut this radio, cut the wiring to the radio, because the other radio probably, you know, has separate plugs, and they use the existing, some of the existing wiring. But yeah, I hate that when I see people that cut up, you know, vintage cars to put in modern radios. I mean, if they can, yeah, another, so there's 3 plugs there together, a black, a white, and a blue. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that they should always save. You know, a lot of those radio kits, they come with to where you can plug these connectors right into the connector that goes to the radio. But anyway, their loss, whoever buys the car is a loss. Dave's gain, because I already sent Dave an email that I got this for him. So here's your new radio, Dave. When I see you next, I'll give it to you. And it's AM only, but that's the way some cars were in that era, the mid-70s. And an 8-track, which is really super cool. I imagine this radio is probably kind of rare, being an AM only 8-track. I have never seen one like this in all my years of playing with vintage cars. So if nobody, or if anybody knows, you know, a little bit about them, if you're a radio guru for vintage cars, leave a comment about it too. Yeah, I paid $10 for this, and I paid $2 for this fan at that same sale. It needs a good cleaning up. The cord's been chewed through by mice there. We're gonna see if this thing works. And so hopefully it doesn't. I'll show you the plug in case it sparks so you can enjoy the fireworks if it goes. Nope, no sparks there, no sparks here. Let's see if I'm gonna get a shock touching this thing. Nope, let's see if it works. How do you like that? Oops, sorry about my hand there. Needs a good cleaning and lubricating. It's got, I don't know, I'll show you the motor. I'll do a video on this separate, cleaning it up and painting it and lubricating it. It blows a decent amount of air for a little tiny fan. I don't know where you'd use it. Maybe you set it in a window, you know, like that style of window, but so it just needs a good cleaning, painting, and lubricating. Yeah, I like to collect oddball things like this. I'm not going to turn it over with that cord chewed up. I'll put a new cord on it too, so get this thing out of the outlet here and show you what this is. It says it's a Markle, and like I say, the motors are not your typical fan motor. I don't know if you can see them in there or not. It's one motor, there's the other motor, and then it has some tag on it here. So if somebody knows anything about these two, again, leave a comment. Anyone knows anything about it, but we'll give this a cleaning and painting because, you know, I kind of like this. You know, I'll just spray bomb paint it. I'm not going to mix automotive paint up for it or anything. And then I got a ton of spark plugs. And this one only has 2 in the box. But they're all spark plugs that are common. This one's missing 2. R46 TSX. I mean, they're all brand new except for one little pat. These ones were used, and I'll probably throw these away. They're 12 R12 YCs. I think my garden tractor used to use those. That's a full, well, 6 in it, and that's an empty box. So I'll go through these and put them in my spark plug drawer. I have no idea what this is. This is in the box. Some type of sleeve, something. It says it's a pin. This was in the box, so it just came with the... It's an interesting looking pin, that's for sure. Anyone knows what that part is and you want to leave a comment too, feel free to. Big tie strap. Full box. Full box. I think this one, whoops, I just dumped 3. As I say, I think this one has 6 out of 10 plugs left in it. Lots and lots of spark plugs in here. Another empty package. Oops, not showing it. I'm using my phone again. I don't know, I just did the other video on a phone. Another new old stock Ford part that just came. Nozzle assembly. Probably a washer nozzle, I would suspect that, you know, that clips onto the wiper arm. This guy must have, I doubt he worked at a Ford dealer. There would have been a lot, too many parts there to back door out of the place without getting fired. He probably worked at a distribution center, or maybe drove one of the trucks. I guess there's more new old stock stuff in here than I thought. Brand new. And yeah, I didn't realize that these parts were, those almost look like headlight adjuster screws. There's another one of these, it's called a, it's the same as that other part, I do believe. But that's a little better package of what it looks like. It almost looks like something out of the steering column, but I'm only guessing. You Ford guys may know more about that than myself. But, you know, I mean, there's some used plugs in here. But that I don't care about. It's the new stuff. Another new old stock. Well, I'll be darned, I got some new. I have no idea what this is. The part number is not really legible because it's white on the. Looks like 399096-S100. Bump stop maybe. So anyway, I'll go through these and put all the new ones in my drawer of spark plug hoard that I have. I have a hoard spark plugs because you never know, you know, you're trying to get an old car going and you break one or one's bad. And, you know, you don't need to replace them all. So, oops. That's the old small black Chevys. Took these with the big spark plug holes. And, so yeah, so we got a ton. Old vintage spark plugs. Comes with the washer. Sorry again. Tip. And the plug. So we got a whole mess to go through here and put in the drawer. That is it for this video. I try and, if I can do some videoing in an estate sales, I will. You know, it's kind of not really appropriate. And you can go on estatesales.net and, you know, you can put in your zip code or any zip code you want and how many distance of miles from that zip code you want to look at sales and click on them. You can pick the, you know, sales for today or next week, or you got a lot of options there. I think I left a link in the last video of estatesales.net. I'll leave one in this video too. But that's something I've always enjoyed doing, is going to estate sales. And you know, this being the automotive capital, you see a lot of neat stuff auto-related. This guy even had rotunda test equipment. And, you know, I mean, it's of no value to me, and so I didn't buy it. But there, you know, people buy it for collector stuff and whatnot. He had cases of different brands of motor oil that came in the round cardboard and metal cans that were still in the unopened boxes when Case's oil came in 24 quarts to a case. And I lost count of how many cases there were. Some guy there trying to get him to come down and pray. He was wanting basically what it worked out to be about $16 a quart for these unopened boxes of oil. And I think they're totally worth it. I see them at flea markets if it's an unopened quart of oil for 20 bucks in those type of cans, but these were still in the unopened cases. And the containers had to be like new in them. And, you know, I mean, it just, they would have easily pulled in 20 bucks a can. You could have might even sold the whole case for more than what you'd buy them for. But that, I don't do swap meets or flea markets and stuff like that, you know, sell stuff. So that's why I didn't bother trying to get any of that stuff. And those NOS parts, man, if you go to flea markets or swap meets, there was NOS carburetors, there was 2 barrels, 4 barrels, Holley, Motorcraft, because Ford used a lot of Holley carburetors too. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that, but there were just tons and tons of things there that, you know, it was a gold mine if you're a Ford nut. And there were people picking through and looking up the part numbers on their phone while they were picking through. And like I said, if I had a project, Ford project, I needed parts for, I would have had the part numbers in hand to go to that sale, because there's a good chance the parts were there. I mean, I've not seen that kind of hoard of new old stock parts like that in a long time. I mean, this 2-car garage was full floor to ceiling and up into the attic of the garage. And like I say, that didn't come out of a dealership. He couldn't have backdoored that kind of amount of parts out of the dealership without getting caught and fired. He had to work for a distribution center or something. It was just, it was nuts the amount of parts there. So anyway, that's it. I'm done rambling here. That's it for this video. If you like it, definitely hit the like button. If you like my channel, at 348 engine icon that pops up there, you can click on that to subscribe. And thank you for watching my video again.